Hey guys, Ryan here with a mini Friday Night Ritual video. I actually went out to eat tonight, so I don't have anything to eat and to show you. But tonight I'm actually watching a mini series, or a couple episodes of a mini series that I bought recently, and I will show you what it is right here. All right, and here we go. It's called Centennial. Came out in 78, 79. It's a very long. Let's see how long. It was 27 hours when it premiered on TV with the commercials, and this without commercials is 20 hours. So I'm looking forward to watching this. There's that. It's kind of about a settlement of a fictional town, in the 18th century, or no, the 19th century. And actually it starts out in the 18th century and goes all the way up to the 1970s. So it's a saga. I got it in my DVD menu. The DVD menu is on the TV right now. Has an all-star cast. Beautiful artwork. It's kind of like a Western, How the West Was Won kind of thing. And here is all of the discs. Oops. And then, descriptions of the episodes on the back. It's a pretty nice set. It's very nice finish. But yeah, so that's my plans tonight. That's what I'm doing tonight. And so I'll get some shots of me watching it and all that good stuff. Sorry guys, I completely fell asleep, so I didn't film anymore last night. But yeah, I'm all ready. It's about 10 o'clock now. I'm heading with some family and my wife to an antique place that is huge, with my main goal of looking for a Laserdisc, VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, any format of film whatsoever. So I'm going to be doing that, and so that's my goal for today. Alright guys. Hey guys, here I am at Avonlea Antique Mall, as you can see behind me. This place has a lot of good stuff, and so I'm really looking forward to going in here. I haven't been in here in a few years, so let's go ahead and check it out. Hey guys, alright, I'm at Al's Pizza, one of my favorite pizza places. I don't know if I'm going to get pizza yet though, because, my diet, and I'm really trying to not cheat like I did yesterday. I didn't find anything at the antique store. They used to have like Laserdisc and stuff, but this time they didn't really have anything. I was really disappointed. All they had was a bunch of overpriced VHS tapes for like $50 for like a really crappy Star Wars Special Edition VHS tape. And I'm looking for the original 80s VHS releases of those films. Not the THX ones from like the early 90s, but the 80s ones. So, alright, well I'm going to get something to eat, and it's right across the street from where I was just at, which was right over there. Hey guys, I'm actually now back at home, and I'm just chilling upstairs. I'm going to watch another episode of Centennial. The miniseries that I'm in the middle of watching. I'm loving it so far, and it's nice because I was really kind of disappointed with the antique store today. I've always found stuff there. In fact, the last time when I went there, there was like a brand new Laserdisc Blade Runner Director's Cut. I don't have a Laserdisc player yet. I'm going to try to get my hands on one this year. And but mainly I want them for collection, purposes, even if I don't watch that format. They had a lot of overpriced VHS tapes, like I said, the Star Wars thing, and I don't know, I just wasn't really happy with it. And so, went to lunch, had a slice of pizza and a salad, and it was really, really good. And now I'm just chilling upstairs in my bedroom, watching episode 2 of Centennial. I hope you don't really care that this video doesn't really have a point, other than it's just random stuff until, just basically it's my weekend of 2-year anniversary of YouTube. I'm just doing whatever, just filming whatever I'm doing. And so I haven't decided when I'm going to do my list yet. Talk about my countdown for my favorite videos. But I'm going to do it. And also I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite films of last year that I saw. So that'll be fitting, since my first YouTube video ever 2 years ago was me talking about my favorite films of 2010. I only talked about my top 3, but today I'm going to be doing my top 10. So, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to do it today or tomorrow, and make it a full weekend, instead of just a day or two. So we'll see. And alright guys, well, I'm going to get on with episode 2. Hey everybody, Ryan here. It's actually nighttime now. It's about 9 o'clock p.m. and I am still watching Centennial. After my last video, my last little shot that I did, the episode was over, and came downstairs and just kind of hung out and did some stuff. Watched TV with my wife and everything, had dinner, and now I'm back watching episode 3, and it's a 20-hour miniseries. The first episode was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the second episode was an hour and 40 minutes, and this is an hour and 40 minutes as well. Hey guys, it is Monday, and I am running out the trash. Got some grocery shopping to do at Target, and then I will be chilling out, watching some movies, and filming some videos. I don't really know what I'm going to watch today yet. I do know I'm filming, a little bit later, my video on, to include in this video about my favorite YouTube videos. And I really feel like watching Seven Samurai. That's probably what I'll end up watching. That or Good, Bad, and the Ugly or something. So that's my plan. Alright guys, well, this is my segment that deals with my favorite YouTube videos. And I narrowed it down to 5. I was trying to do more than that, but it was actually really hard to, I found making a top 5 was a lot easier than making a top 10, because once you get into, the other videos, it actually ends up being easier to make like a top 20, because then you realize you're leaving a lot of people out. But if you narrow it down to 5, it makes it a lot easier to decide. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and start out with number 5. And this video I saw probably like a year ago. I wasn't sure when he posted it, but it's Dr. Hasline's Planet of the Apes overview collection. He has a pretty extensive Planet of the Apes collection, and the way he has his video filmed is amazing. He uses music from the movie, and it's just like a really extensive look, and almost in like a review of the set, but kind of like a review of the movies as well. And I remember when he posted it, I watched it a million times. I mean, not a million times, but it led me to buying or getting back into Planet of the Apes after, 5 or 6 years of not watching anything or dealing with it at all. And now I'm still like an obsessed fan, just as much as like Star Trek or Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, how I am with those two, I'm also with Planet of the Apes, and a lot of that is with this video that he put up. I ended up buying one of the sets in a video, and it was just a awesome video, and that is why it's my 5th favorite, and I still revisit it from time to time. Number 4 is Brennan Mitchell's Wet Movie One's Out and About Las Vegas, the movie. This was such, to me, like I wasn't able to buy it, but I watched it when he put it on YouTube, and I know he took a couple stuff out of it, and but what he posted was some of the most hilarious vlogging I've ever seen, and I've watched it a lot, and in fact I watched it the other day after I made this list, and I was just laughing so hard. The interaction with him and Sean and Gabe and stuff, it's hilarious, and I'm gonna leave links to all these below, and also make sure you go and subscribe to these guys if you haven't yet, which be surprised if you're not subbed to some of these guys, but if you're not, please check them out. They're awesome. But anyways, I just love that video so much, and it's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And just recently, he went back to Vegas with Cool Duder as well, and made a little around the town, or kind of like an out and about with that too, but it was a shorter, I think it was like a 30-minute video, and that was hilarious too, and it was really cool. But number 3 is Luke Ryan, aka Razor Raw Reviews, aka Luke Ryan Lives, because he has 2 channels. It's his 24-hour movie marathon video that he did for my first marathon I did last year, and it's funny how it ended up being one of my favorite videos. But what makes it one of my favorite YouTube videos isn't because he was entering in something I did. It was actually because of the way he did it, and he really made it. I just kind of asked for everybody to film a video of their marathon, but what he did was he really showed a true cinephile's like it was basically like if you saw a movie about somebody who is obsessed with film and loves watching movies. He did that. Part of the movie he's watching in his house. He goes to the movies. And one of my favorite parts is that he's actually like walking on the street and in a bus watching one of the films on his phone or iPad or iPod or whatever he had, and it was awesome. I was like, man, this is like a sweet video. I mean, this is the kind of video that I would love, and I watched it multiple times. He has a great ending to the video, which is really cool, and I mean, it was awesome. It like exceeded like all my expectations for the marathon. It ended up being one of my favorite videos that I've ever seen in this film community on YouTube of the people that I'm subscribed to. But the ending of that video is just, that's what really puts it over like on this list, is the last like 5 minutes of the video. And I think he did it in 3 parts. I have it saved on a playlist, like on a private playlist on my YouTube channel. So I always have the videos I always forget if there's 2 or 3, but usually when I watch it, I watch all in one, and I'm doing something, and it plays each one in a row, so I'm not actually clicking on the videos. But yeah, so number 2 is Robbie Webster's first vlog that he ever did. And I'm going to leave it at that until I talk about my number 1 video. My number 1 favorite video is Cool Duder's favorite gory, gross out films video. And the reason why I'm going to talk about them at the same time is because, I've talked about my history on YouTube before, but the first video I ever saw of Sean's was this video. And I've talked about it in vlogs before about how this was the video that really got me back into horror movies again. I used to be obsessed with horror movies, had VHSs up the yin yang, but I for some reason didn't get all the same ones on DVD. But watching his video I mean, it was about 2.5 years ago, because I watched it the first time, and I didn't know anything about making a YouTube channel or anything. So I watched it for at least like a month before I even, or a few months before I even thought about doing a channel. And but what, but why Robbie's is involved with this too is because while I was watching that video and a lot of some of his other videos, but mainly this video right here, I saw Robbie, that video of his in the suggestion box, and it was titled like first video to cool message to Cool Duder, and I was like, oh sweet, so people made a video in response to this. And so I watched that and watched it like multiple times because it was really cool. And that led me into, like Sean's one of the reasons why I started doing YouTube, but Robbie is the reason why I picked up the camera and started doing it myself. And mainly it was because of that video. And one of the reasons why I love the video so much is because, he's like one of my close friends, and how he is in that video is exactly how he is, and it's really how he is now. Like, even though all this time has passed and he's had all these subscribers, he didn't change at all. He's still the same old awesome guy. Not old, but the same old guy that I started YouTube because. And in the video, which I relate to it and why it's one of my favorites, that he mentions that he wasn't sure if anybody was going to ever watch this, but he didn't care because he just wanted to do it. And that's how I felt when I wanted to start YouTube. Was I didn't care if anybody ever saw it. It was just a way to vent my love of movies. And I started out doing strictly movies, and I eventually branched off into doing vlogging as well. And now my channel is split between vlogging and movie stuff. And and that video is what led me into his other things. So when I made this list, those top two, I guess you could kind of say those are tied, but those top two are ones I repeatedly go back to, especially Sean's video, because I constantly put new movies on my wish list that I didn't put in my wish list the first time I watched the video, or the second or third or fourth time. And I go back to those videos to watch them, and it kind of, reminds me that, that gives me that I'm kind of reminiscing about when I first started YouTube and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a reflection thing, and it's just entertaining. I was always that person that loved hearing people talk. There's family members that tell stories, and a lot of people get bored by them sometimes. Well, I was always that family member that was all about listening to the stories, even if it felt like they were babbling on. I was glued to them, and that's why I love YouTube so much, and that's how I fell in love with YouTube. Because Sean and Robbie, before I started making videos, I was like pretty much addicted to watching their videos and hearing their opinions on movies and outlook on life in general. And that led into me meeting Razman's Reality back in the early days, and me and him are still close, and they supported me from day one. And so that's my top 5 videos list. I hope you guys enjoyed them, and hope you enjoy my top 10 film list as well. So I hope you enjoy that, because that's coming up next. Alright, here it is, my top 10 favorite films of 2012. First film is Rob Reiner's film that stars Morgan Freeman, called The Magic of Belle Isle. And it is a great film, great re-coming of age story, I guess you could say, and slightly coming of age for some of the children in the film too. It's a great story of a rider who was pretty much a drunk, who's inspired by a neighbor to get back into riding, and kind of rediscovers the purpose of his life. Great film. The next film is Ty West horror film The Innkeepers, which had a lot of mixed reviews when it came out. People said it was all that great and it was slow. It's a very good slow-paced film that is slow-paced for a reason, in the same style as The Shining. And I loved the film so much. I wasn't expecting to put it on my top 10 list, but it ended up being amazing. I loved every second of it. So definitely check that out if you're into horror films. The next one is The Avengers. I've talked about that in the past. Highly entertaining film. I don't even need to go into that. 7. Prometheus. An amazing film from the second that I started watching it. I was addicted to it. It has a mystery to it, unanswered questions, and that's stuff that I love because you could ponder and think about it constantly and research it yourself. And I'm excited for the sequel as well. Great visuals, great performance by Michael Fassbender. Just a brilliant film. Number 6 is Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, starring Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm a history nut, and I was excited for this movie to come out for so many different reasons. Spielberg, the fact that it's about Lincoln, Daniel Day-Lewis, who's my favorite actor, and just so many things about this film. It did not let me down. Alright, number 5 is Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom, coming-of-age story, and it is very good. Funny, kind of has a normal Wes Anderson mix of funny and melancholy at the same time. Great performances by everybody in the film. Number 4 is The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan's conclusion to his Dark Knight trilogy. Personally, it's my favorite of the three. I think all three of them are masterpieces in their own right, but this one was my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and just say my second favorite is Batman Begins, my third favorite is The Dark Knight. What puts The Dark Knight lower than Batman Begins is the first half of Batman Begins. I really love all the martial arts training and all that kind of stuff that he goes through, and I love those kind of films. So because of that, not necessarily because of any issues with I have with the film, it's just I love Batman Begins, like some of the early stuff in the film more than some stuff that's in The Dark Knight, which, I mean, all the movies are just as great to me, but, I like Batman Begins better. Alright, number 3 is Skyfall. I've been an obsessed James Bond nut my whole life. Even before I got into movies, I was obsessed with the James Bond movies. I guess you could say in a way that those were my favorite things to watch before I even got into film. So, you could say that. Great film. I was upset that it didn't get more nominations at the Oscars because it is an amazing, well-made film. Number 2, The Hobbit, Peter Jackson. I loved every single aspect of this first part of the film. Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey. I'm obsessed Lord of the Rings fan, as I've said before, and I love the books, everything. And so I savored this movie, and I loved it so much. Number 1 favorite film is Django Unchained. I was blown away by this film, and if you want to know more, go back and look at my Django Unchained film review. It's just amazing and such a blend of so many of my favorite genres of film. It's just an amazing film, and that's why it's number 1. Once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who stayed subbed to me these last 2 years, and thank you for your continued support. And I'm just still so thankful that I'm still on YouTube and meeting new people and creating great friendships. So I hope you enjoyed this video full of random vlogging, and I will see you guys in the next video.